Right here, you can read that question up here. He's like, where does she get all this money? Where? Jimmy Spasentongo is right here. He said, of course, he's being sarcastic here. He says, lazy broke people cannot understand how in just a few years a speaker can acquire a 3 billion Rolls-Royce, a Range Rover, and gift hubby a Range Rover too, unveil a palatial home, a teaching hospital, construct a stadium, build a multi-million structure on Mutungo Hill, pay off a house in Nakasero, shop clothes from high-end UK shops. Just work hard. You can also acquire that. We are a rich country. Look for your own wealth. Imagine, ladies and gentlemen.
You're watching Mordecai Marissa Live Political Commentary. Please consider subscribing to help grow Uganda's Voices of Struggle ecosystem. Thank you.
I cannot appreciate you enough for using your valuable time to always go on social media, break down things for people.
Happy Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you're watching me and at whatever time you might enjoy this broadcast. My name is Mordecai Marissa. I'm hosting this show from these United States of the Americas, the land of Donald John Trump. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I am still not letting the corruption of Anitah Among go, because the more we continue normalizing this, the more we hand over our power to them, that they can steal from the country, spend this money they steal from us on luxury, and the only thing we do is look on. Now, we can decide to ignore, and ignoring is pretty much being accomplices in these dubious, extremely unpatriotic actions of stealing from your country. Or we can task them to explain themselves about where they're getting all this money, or ask for investigation, or talk about them and tell our fellow citizens that, you know what, this is extremely wrong. And that's what I'm going to be doing tonight. I will continue talking about the thievery of Anitah Among, the Speaker of Parliament. And then I want to show you how criminality has pretty much become the feature, not that it has become, it has always been, but it is now some sort of a badge of honor in the Museveni criminal regime. And this is going to be tacitly shown to you by Nobati Mao. But going back to what I said about the thievery of Anitah Among, after the Daily Monitor reported that Anitah Among, the Speaker of the House, had spent 3.4 billion shillings on a Rolls-Royce, one of the citizens asked a question right here. You can read that question up here. He's like, where does she get all this money? Where? Because we're going to be looking at a few areas he's invested. You're not going to believe. People are going to be asking, where is she getting all this money? And of course, some of her defenders are going to be like, oh, she's invested in so many projects in Uganda. Don't play. Those are complete lies. But when he posted that picture, again, an amazing activist and investigative reporter, lawyer, Agatha Hyrie responded. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Anitah Among and allies withdrew over 4 billion shillings in one day. Over 4.29. It's actually 4.29 billion shillings. And I'm going to read you names here. These are parliamentary commissioners that awarded themselves money. It started on 2nd July 2025, with this money being sent to Kongai Scovia, 500 million shillings. Then on the same date, another money was sent to Apollo Joan, 500 million shillings. Then this money went to Apio Esther, 500 million shillings. Then 400 million shillings went to Monda Muzamiru. and then you have 400 million shillings going to Ainama Skorecho, and then 400 million shillings going to Mitimbo Gonzaga. This is the PR for Matthias Simpuga. And we put emphasis on Matthias Simpuga because he's being an accomplice in this cabal that he's openly stealing from the Ugandan people as he continues to present himself as somebody who cares about the struggles of the disenfranchised Ugandans. Okay, then you have this one, 400 million shillings going to Afoyochan Esther, and then 400 million shillings going to Okema Leonard. This is a different date. This is this is 6th July. And then you have Obore Chris. Chris Obore received 220 million shillings. Then you have 210 million shillings going to Oturu Lawyer. Okay, then you have 160 million shillings going to Obore Chris. More money going to Obore Chris. Then you have 50 million shillings going to Ozere Mole, 50 million shillings going to Monda Muzamiru, 50 million shillings going to Ainama Skorecho, and then 50 million shillings going to Mitimbo Gonzaga. More money for Matthias Simpuga. This is money being withdrawn on one day. That's why she's getting money. And then you have Chris Obore, who's pretty much a simp to Anitah Mong. They use his bank accounts to make all these transactions. It is extremely, extremely sad. This is embarrassing. I'm going to come back to this, but I want to take you to the way this has pretty much been normalized. I want you to listen to Nobati Mao here, talking about how Anitah Mong is a wounded soldier in this NRM kleptocracy. Listen, this is the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. He's going to show concern over these allegations of how Anitah Mong is spending billions and billions of money. But he's not going to show concern or any interest in launching thorough investigations. It is pretty much, let me make some commentary about what's going on and I won't do nothing. Listen here.
Ate sanctions baleme kubuzaabuza abantu nti bazireeta lwa anti-homosexuality act. Sanctions zaabubbibwa sente mu gavumenti.
See, he's openly endorsing these sanctions from UK, USA, and allies. He says, do not be bullied. Do not be gaslit by Anitah Mong saying, hey, these folks are sanctioning me because of my moderation and the passing of the Anti-Homosexuality Act. No, it is because of thievery. Of course, corruption is usually sugar-coated. Thievery is usually sugar-coated with that term, corruption. Now, if he truly believes that these sanctions were as a result of thievery in the Museveni government, what is he doing? The Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, is he concerned at all? No. He's using this as a talking point to help him defeat Anitah Mong, such that when he gets to office, he does the same thing. That's why I said you shouldn't have a horse in this race. It is fighting for Museveni to notch them, fighting for position. It is more about the office than the service or the substance of the office itself.
Era biri mu buwandiike tibamuteeka ku sanctions lwa corruption. Bw'omaliriza ebizimbe byo naye ekizimbe kya palamenti tekigwa. Ozimbye ekiggo, oguze ennyumba ya multi-million dollars Nakasero, wuuyo kati nawulidde nti yaguze Walusimbi's garage, agenda kuteekawo ekizimbe, agenda kuzimba 5-star hotel, nga agumise sente za Afcon. Ebintu ebyo byonna nabisomye ku social media. Oba bituufu oba si bituufu, naye kasita abantu bamanyi.
What does that even mean? Oh, I read this from social media. I cannot confirm whether this is true or false. But as long as people know, what are you even talking about? You are a minister. You have authority to use it to investigate and tell us, are these allegations true or false? But all he's doing is give commentary. Leave that to Mordecai Murisa. I don't have an office. I don't have any position of power. I can't do nothing apart from saying this, flapping my gabs, and hoping that, hey, maybe somebody in the Museveni regime is going to notice. Somebody's going to have an epiphany and try to save this dying nation. Leave it for me. You are the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. If she's involved in all those schemes, why aren't you interested in investigating? Because you know why? Because he knows that if he does this, it might backfire. He might be investigated. That's the Museveni kleptocracy government. Okay, let's go here. And then I had Jimmy Spire Sentongo tweeted something because people have told us that, I think it was Esther for your Chan. I played you her clip recently. Let's see here. She wasn't denying, actually. Where did I save that clip? I recently played you that clip where she was like, I stole. But let me ask you, if you were given this amount of money, would you be able to sustain it? I have all this money because I'm able. That was her line of defense for her corruption and stealing from national coffers. You're like, yeah, you people are talking about me should, go out and work. That's what she said. I wish I could find this clip. I don't know where I saved it. But like, maybe I'm checking here. I got a screen here. I'll find it one of these days. I'll find it. But you can go back in my videos. But hey, when she said, oh, you guys are lazy, you should go and work. Jimmy Spire Sentongo is right here. He said, of course, he's being sarcastic here. He says, lazy broke people cannot understand how in just a few years a speaker can acquire a 3 billion Rolls-Royce, a Range Rover, and gift hubby a Range Rover too, unveil a palatial home, a teaching hospital, construct a stadium, build a multi-million structure on Mutungo Hill, pay off a house in Nakasero, shop clothes from high-end UK shops. Just work hard. You can also acquire that. We are a rich country. Look for your own wealth. Imagine, ladies and gentlemen. That's what she's buying. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Now, she didn't like this. That's why she's ordering a Rolls-Royce. Unbelievable. Look at the mansion she built in Bukedea. Who does this? Look at all these investments. And then, if you ask questions, be like, shut up, go and work. Look at her. She's constructing stadiums. Look at her. The moment you ask question, shut up, go and work. You're a lazy guy, Mordecai. Really? Really? And then this is her Mutungo Hill in Chigo. This is another house she's constructing. Unbelievable. Where she's getting all this money. They don't want you to question this because you know what? Oh, then you are not patriotic enough. This was when it was first reported. I think it was this guy said, while y'all paying your dues to capitalism by slaving away for cash to build our nation, the good folks at Public Square were also doing their fair share of national service. They've unearthed this gem that will make Bukedea look like a joke. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. And again, like I said, if people have earned this money and they want to spend it, do whatever you want. It is your money. Richly enjoy that money. It is your sweat. But that's not what we see in Uganda. That's not what we see in Uganda. We are seeing thievery in broad daylight. And remember what was said by, I'll type here with you. Watch. Let me show you. Thieves hide behind Museveni. This is a newspaper. Thieves hide behind Museveni. Who said this? This was the former IGG, Inspector General of Government, Irene Muriagonja, who said, thieves hide hide behind Museveni, says Inspector General of Government Irene Muryagonja. Miss Irene Muryagonja says the corrupt are powerful, and whenever she attempts to pursue them, they fight back and often win the fight because you know what? They're being protected by the corrupt in chief, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. That's what we see in Uganda. It is heartbreaking. It is extremely, extremely heartbreaking. That's how you end up in this position. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got to scream at the top of our voices. We have to call out these people. Some of us are going to get rid of the selfishness. When these people arrive at events, we walk away. We've got to make placards. We've got to make signs. We've got to expose them. Let's hit their comment section on X platform. Expose them. Call them out. Because shame. I think I played you something was coming from Rachel Maddow about shame. Do I have it here? I think I got it, and that will be the last video I play you. Yeah, it's right here. Let me play you. And why am I asking you to use that tactic? Listen to what she says here.
Period, where people in public office very frequently do lots of terrible things.
Mm-hmm. And then she's like, she asked a question. Okay. Mm-hmm.
What turns them around? What stops them from doing terrible things? What makes them correct course and start doing the right thing instead? One thing that sometimes works is shame and embarrassment. Mm-hmm. Being confronted with the wrongness of what they are doing, feeling shame or embarrassment, or at least the possibility of public rebuke and the awkwardness of being unable to explain their actions in a way that satisfies anyone. Sometimes you can't turn public officials around, but sometimes you can. Sometimes that sort of thing can cause public officials who are otherwise behaving in ways that are weak and wrong to find their spine and to change their minds. And that is why it may be important for our country as a whole and for the history of the American Republic that the first full day of Donald Trump's second...
Well, we're going to talk about Donald John Trump. But you understand the gist there. Shame. We don't do this to just satisfy our flesh. We do this so that they know, that we notice what they're doing. That they cannot hide, that they cannot bully, especially in a country where many people have deliberately been made poor. Government programs that are meant to keep people in poverty. Us who are in positions where we can say no to temptations of money from this criminal regime, we have to use our voices to expose these people, to call them out. Shame is a weapon. It is shame that has brought, what's his name? Yusuf Usman, to a point of almost running crazy. Look at him when he goes on TV. Because the Ugandan people have shown him that, hey, we do not care. We don't want that law. And twisting himself into pretzels, he gets on TV and all he does is spew word salads. We have to do this. This is a weapon we have. And do not be bullied again, manipulated into thinking, hey, you can only speak, there's nothing else you can do. You know, one time when I was moderating a conversation with Alliance for National Transformation president, is he called president or chairman or leader of Mujisha Muntu, told me, let no one bully you into thinking that speaking, has no, does nothing. He says, if speaking wasn't as powerful or wasn't an instrumental weapon, why are they trying to silence people? Why? You know for sure that what I'm saying or what I do here in the USA, I cannot do it in Uganda. I'll be killed. I'll be abducted. I wonder why. I don't have guns. No, zero weapon. Zero, not even a machete. Maybe one I use in my kitchen. And that's it. But if I were in Uganda, I would be dead. A plot, probably dead in an accident, poison or something. Because everything starts with speaking. So hit their timelines. Call them out. Let's not get tired of exposing them. It is unbelievable that these people are going to steal and, move around, come to our neighborhoods and we are celebrating them. Oh, Anitah Among. No. Walk away. Mobilize people not to go. Switch them. Channel them onto other activities. Organize other things when she's coming to your neighborhood. Tell them to, organize something, a separate event that should come and find no people. Because you have to understand, while they are stealing from people, they want their theft to be legitimized. And the more we attend their events, the more they think, oh, after all, I have people here. They respect me. They don't mind my theft. Then we become accomplices. I think Martin Luther King Jr. was right, that in the end, we shall not remember the noise, I think, is it the noise? I'm poorly paraphrasing this. The noise from our enemies, but the silence of our friends. And if you're a friend of mine, I mean, we might never meet or we've never met at all, but you're a friend of mine in the struggle. If you're silent, I am not seeing your silence. And it will be remembered that when the Anitah Amongs and the Nobati Mong and the rest of Adam 7 were plundering, killing our country, what you did was staying quiet. Oh, as long as I am okay in my Canada, I am okay in Boston or Ohio or wherever. New York, I don't care. That's Uganda. Imagine if the people in this country that made it possible for you to live in this country peacefully, they don't speak out. They don't speak up. They don't stand up for you. Where would you be? So stop the selfishness. Call these people out. Do something. That's it.
Did you enjoy what you just watched?
I'm sure they did.
I'm going to guess that you did. How about you consider subscribing to Mordecai Marissa Live YouTube channel? Thank you.